Ito ang kwento't kaalamang Bangsamoro, kasaysayan, kaganapan at iba't ibang kwento sa loob at labas ng Pilipinas patungkol sa mga Muslim.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. Isang mapagpalang araw po sa ating lahat. At nandito na naman tayo sa panibagong kwento't kaalamang Bangsamoro, hatid ng Kailong TV at ng Jumeirahville Subdivision. At ngayon mapalad tayo dahil may makakasama tayong isang panauhin na espesyal. Ito ay galing sa Salam Radio at isa rin sa kinikilala natin dito sa Pilipinas pagdating sa mga historical background, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga Muslim dito sa Pilipinas. At kasama natin ngayon, walang iba kundi ang brother natin in Islam, si Sir Nords Maguindanao. Assalamualaikum po.
Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's such an honor to be here. Dati tayo yung nag-i-interview. Ngayon ako ay interviewin. Maganda, mashallah. It's a new experience and opportunity for me, no? Congratulations. Maraming salamat sa pag-invite. It's my first time to know you. Yung mga reels mo, yung mga videos mo ay talagang nakikita, no? And such, in a way, ang ganda nung representation mo for the Bangsamoro. It's my honor to have this conversation with you with such a very humble gentleman from Maguindanao. Tama
Yes,
ba?
Maguindanao po.
Mashallah. So, ano nga yung programa, yung
Kwento't Kaalamang Bangsamoro.
Kwento't Kaalaman ng Bangsamoro. But before we start, it's just a disclaimer.
Yes po.
It so happened that Salam Radio has been airing for almost 9 years now.
Mashallah.
No? Kumbaga, yung mga kaalaman natin when it comes to the historical background, yung mga hindi masyado pinag-uusapan at hindi nakalagay sa mga libro patungkol sa ating Bangsamoro, is somewhere nag-accumulate with the numbers of interview historians na nakakausap natin through our program. So, disclaimer lang, I'm not a historian or in the academe, but yung experience ko and the numbers of interviews that I got from the scholars, yun lang yung binabato natin ulit na information.
So si Sir Nords po is tubong...
My name again is Nords Maguindanao. Ako po yung anchor ng Salam Radio. Salam Radio is under the Office of the President sa Malacanang, under the Presidential Communications Office, Presidential Broadcast Service. It's been airing for 9 years na. I came from Marawi, Lanao del Sur, and it so happened na Maguindanao ang aking apelido. But gaya nga, yun yung maganda pag-uusapan natin kasi I firmly believe na tayo naman ay nanggaling sa iisang Mindanao.
Kasi napag-usapan natin kanina, sir, behind the camera. Actually, isa sa mga nagustuhan naming topic talaga, yung mga historical background
historical
ng mga
background.
Bangsamoro, yung mga Muslim, lalong-lalo na sa Mindanao. Kasi 'di ba, according sa mga nabasa lang namin, and according na rin sa mga history ng mga kababayan natin doon sa Mindanao, na ang mga Muslim ay nagsimula talaga sa kapuluang bahagi ng Mindanao.
Yes, of course.
So, pwede yung napag-usapan po natin, sir.
Well, based on my numbers of interviews with regards on how Islam started in Mindanao, particularly in Mindanao, kasi kung sasabihin natin Pilipinas, marami talagang pinanggalingan eh. Pero if you would be based on our scholars and our historians, kung titingnan mo, it started around 1300 in Tawi-Tawi, Simunul Island. Yun yung first mosque, no, na ginawa doon ni Sheikh Shariful Makdum, no? But before that, before his arrival, on the creation of the mosque, meron pang nauna sa kanya. Si Tuan Mashayka.
Tuan Mashayka.
Sheikh Tuan Mashayka. He came around 1200s, mga ganon, no? Late 1200s. Pero he didn't started yung mosque. He started yung first family. So, if you would categorize it, first family of Muslims, or community rather, kasi nagsimula siya community is during the time of Tuan Mashayka. And then, may sumunod na Arab preacher and trader na si Sheikh Karimul Makdum, which is yun na yung recognized, no? Now, why am I saying this? Because may tomb na nakita, na tomb ni Tuan Mashayka, nakalimutan ko lang whether it is in Sulu or in Tawi-Tawi, nakalimutan ko lang, na doon nakalagay na he arrived earlier than Sheikh Karimul Makdum. So basically, nahanap niya, he established the first mosque, yung first masjid in Mindanao. Particularly, technically, in the area of Mindanao, which spread all across Mindanao, Visayas, and Luzon, no? Which spread across. Kasi, maganda, alam mo, very fascinating ito because yung pinagmulan ng Islam dito sa ating bansa are people who are called people of the waves. or seafarers.
Seafarers,
Kaya
oo.
kumalat, no, because they are going in various places of Mindanao, Visayas and Luzon. Kaya yung dala-dala nilang faith, no, is yung Islam. Kaya naman nung dumating yung mga Spaniards during the 1500s, from 13th century to 15th century, flourishing na yung Islam. Flourishing na, na-establish na. And then kaya na nung dumating yung mga Spaniards dito sa Pilipinas, somewhere around 1500s, ay nagulat sila. Nagulat sila that the same monotheistic religion na kinakalaban nila for 700 years in Spain, nandito na pala sa
Mas
Mindanao.
nauna pa sa kanila.
Mas nauna pa sa kanila. Kaya naman lumabas yung Moro-Moro. No? Yung Moro-Moro na term, which is technically a zarzuela na who depicts the Muslims, well, which they recognize, which they recognize na nauna yung mga Muslim, na sila'y barbaric, sila'y illiterate, sila'y mga ganyan. So, yun yung that played around somewhere from 1300s up to 1800s. So, almost 300 years din, which the Spaniards has become very successful of which. Alam mo kung bakit very successful? Kasi hanggang ngayon, the stigma, the misconception is still there. May mga, kala mo, may mga ano, di ba? If if a Muslim from Mindanao pupunta sa sa Manila o Luzon, sasabihin nila, isa ng buntot mo. Parang yung mga ganon, di ba? Yung mga ganon na perception. Pero that's how they were able to ano. But if you would micro zoom doon sa naman sa Mindanao, na Mindanao area, yun yung magandang phases din, no? When it comes to civilization naman, when it comes to the tradition and culture and the people, no? And the people. So, yun yung kagandahan ng Mindanao na very rich tayo. No? Very rich tayo when it comes to, but diverse also. If you talk about the early Muslims, in the areas.
How true, sir, na yung mga yung gaya po ng sabi niyo na may nauna sa kay Sheikh Karimul Makdum. Yung nauna po ba na yun, na-recognize din ba siya as a traders? Kasi 'di ba according sa mga ibang historian na ang Muslim pumunta sila dito for trading something and then nagdaawa na rin sila or inintroduce din nila yung Islam. So ganun din po ba yung mas nauna sa kay si Tuan ang
Yes,
pangalan?
Tuan Mashayka.
Tuan Mashayka.
Tuan Mashayka. Well, ganito yan. The very relevance of a Arab trader and a Chinese trader is that pumupunta sila to trade. Trade lang ang very purpose nila is to trade. But, ang pinagkaiba naman nila, Chinese, when they go to an area, they don't preach. Hindi nila dinadala yung kanilang religion. Kung ano man yung religion nila. Pero yung mga Arab traders, they go by two purposes. They trade and they preach. Now, ang sabi ng ibang mga historians, hindi naman talaga kasi sila mapapansin, no? Kung wala yung activity nila. Ano yung activity nila? So, they pray 5 times a day. May certain rules and regulations sila as a trader to follow, which is based on the Quran and the Islamic principle. Hindi nila nilalamangan. Kaya gustong-gusto ng mga locals na nakikipag-trade sa mga Arab because of the Muslim Islamic perspective of trading. Then, I think na napapansin ng mga locals dati na, bakit sila nagdadasal? Nagdadasal sila, morning, tapos they do the azan, sumisigaw. Those are the representation of the Arab traders na napansin that got the locals curious. Kaya yun, alam mo naman, dun sila na-invite the Muslim. Kaya sabi nga nila, Tuan Mashayka established the first community, Sheikh Karimul Makdum established the first masjid.
Paano naman siya nag-spread na sa buong isla, sa iba't ibang isla ng... Kasi hindi pa siya Pilipinas noon eh. Hindi pa siya Pilipinas.
Based on Chinese scriptures, the identification of then before Philippines was Mai. No? Mai ang tawag nila
Sa buong isla?
Hindi, technically sa Luzon.
Okay.
Technically sa Luzon, Mai, which is in Mindoro, Mai. Yun yung identified nila. But before that, the establishments of the Datu, establishments of the Raja, establishments of the Sultan, meron na tayo.
Before the...
Before the coming of the Spaniards. Yung establishment na yon is somewhere around 1400 to 1800. Now, it came from different, kaya nga sabi ko kanina, we would be specific in Mindanao, merong, yun, si Tuan Masyayka and Shaykh Karimul Makdum. But in Luzon, meron ding penetration coming from the Borneo Sultanate. Luzon sila nagkita. So technically, it's not the Spaniards who are the first colonizers of mainland Luzon. Kasi Luzon lang yung alam nila during those times, Luzon. It was the empires of the sultans coming from Borneo. Oh, yun doon natin nakuha yung influence natin na Raja Sulaiman, Raja Indirapatra. And when you say about Raja, it's only the Luzon part. Wala namang Raja sa Mindanao. May narinig ka Raja sa Mindanao?
Oo, no.
No. When it comes to Raja, it's only the Luzon part. Because those are the influence of the Bornean people. So, the first conflict that happened is between the locals of Luzon, and the Sultanate of Brunei, represented by Raja Sulaiman. Ngayon, they don't conquer kasi. They don't colonize. They preach also their culture and their tradition. So, for them to extend their kingdom, it's not colonization, but extending their kingdom. Kasi hindi naman under the ruling. Kasi sabi nga sa Islam should not be propagated forcibly, di ba? Yung no compulsion when it comes to the Muslim religion. Hindi siya pinipilit. So it's not a colonization. Hindi gaya ng ginawa ng Spain, hindi gaya ng ginawa ng Crusaders of the Christian faith. So, ang nangyari, para lumaki yung expansion ng kingdom, mixed marriage. Nag-asawa sila ng mga locals na tinawag nilang si mga Raja. In Luzon, it was the Rajas. So, nagkaroon si Raja Sulaiman. Kaya nga have you been to Fort Santiago? Intramuros?
Yes.
Intramuros. Kaya yung Intramuros na yan, it's a stronghold of the Rajas before. Even before the arrival of the Spaniards. Dominated yan by the Muslims. Actually, it's called Kota Maynila dati. Same as with the Sultanate of Tondo and other sultanage or other kingdoms. Kingdoms ang tawag nila kingdoms, which is led by Datu, doon sa mga areas ng Maynila. Sabi nga nila, but this is not forcefully taught, but a principle or rather but it's a unconfirmed, Kaya daw tinawag ang Maynila as Maynila is not because of the Maynilad or the hyacinths. It was because the greetings of the Arabs. The greetings of the Arabs before, yung sinasabi nila is, Fi amanillah.
Okay.
May God protect you on your voyage. Fi amanillah. Yun. So, nag-grasp, na-embed dun sa mga locals, and then sabi nila, Maynila. And then, alam mo ba, itong mga, which is yung Arab traders din. I-contextualize na natin para at least, and then, they spread out up until the areas of Cavite, Batangas, Laguna, ganyan. Alam mo kung bakit? Because doon sa Batangas, Batangas, di ba yung Taal?
Oo.
Yung Taal Lake.
Taal Lake.
The locals were very afraid of going to the lake kasi yung idea ng may mga myths. Pero when the Arab came, sabi nila, Taal, come, Taal. Taal, which is the term Taal. Halika, Taal. So, na-embed na naman sa mga local, sabi nila, yun, ginawa nilang Taal Lake. Diba? Taal Volcano. Actually, yung isa pa nga yung sabi nila yung Alae.
Alae sa Batangas.
Yung Alae sa Batangas. Actually, it's Ya Allah. Ya Allah. Nabaliktad lang Alae. Wala namang ala. But anyway, yun yung Luzon factor. Now, in the Luzon context, on the Visayas context, since Visayas and Mindanao is very near, may Raja din. Si Raja Buayan.
So si Raja Buayan pala is originally from Visayas?
Technically, Visayas and Mindanao, mga Raja yan.
Okay. So,
in areas of Mindanao, may Raja Buayan pala. Yung Raja Buayan in
Maguindanao.
Raja Buayan. Technically, Raja Buayan. But anyway, coming from the area of Visayas, yun naman yung mga Raja. Raja Humabon. Yan.
Okay.
Si Raja Humabon, which is the first nag-embrace, or hindi nag-embrace, forced to embrace the Christianity. the Christian faith when Miguel Lopez de Legazpi came. So balik tayo doon sa Fort Santiago. In Fort Santiago, meron dong malaking, ito, nandito yung graphics. Malaking entrada. Yung entrada ng Fort Santiago. So if you would notice, meron doong si Santiago. Santiago ang pangalan niya. I forgot the whole name, pero Santiago. He was famous, named as the Moro Slayer.
Moro Slayer?
Yes, he's the Moro Slayer. No, being the Moro Slayer, makikita mo doon sa entrada ng ano na yon, ng facade na yon ng Fort Santiago, may 3 tao na inaapakan niya, nakasakay siya ng kabayo, tapos may 3 tao na inaapakan niya. Yung mga tao na yon are Muslims. Depicting yung ano niya, pagpatay niya of the Muslims that were before in inhabiting the areas of Fort Santiago and Intramuros. Sabi nga nila, Intramuros. Technically, sabi nila, the term Intramuros is behind the walls, no? Pero ang sabi ng ilang historians daw, no, di umano, is that was the plan Intramuros or the plan of the Spaniards to enter the Moors. Intramuros. So, yun yung Luzon concept. If you talk about Luzon and Visayas concept, kasi yung Visayas kasi hindi na natin mapag-usapan eh. Kasi after that arrival of the Spaniards dominated the ano. So, nawala na talaga yung ano natin doon. Yung stronghold natin in the Visayas. Kaya, but, here's the thing. Babalik tayo dito na tayo sa Mindanao. No? In Mindanao naman, if you talk about Mindanao, which is the origination of Islam. Practically based on text, no? Based on text. Kasi dun sa Luzon, yung mga Rajanate, Islam din ang hawak nila in the Borneo, no? Now, since people of Mindanao are voyagers, no? Voyagers by nature, no? Sila technically yung pumunta in some areas of Luzon and Mindanao. Just to give you an example, di ba may Parang Maguindanao?
Oo, Parang Maguindanao.
Di ba?
Oh,
May
yeah.
Parang Cotabato.
Oh.
Hindi nga sigurado kasi Parang eh. Sabi nila Parang. But, if you look in some places in Luzon and Mindanao, merong mga munisipyo na pangalan niya Parang. Merong mga provinces na pangalan niya Parang.
Sa Luzon.
Sa Luzon and Visayas. Now, doon naman sa amin, pati din sa inyo. Di ba may, I don't know if that's a munisipyo or that's a barangay na kamalig. Give me one barangay na may kamalig.
Halos karamihan eh. May
Diba? May
may sitio, may barangay, kamalig,
Diba?
ganyan.
Sa amin din, may munisipyo na kamalig. Alam mo ba na may kamalig sa Albay?
Oo, narinig ko.
Diba? Kamalig Albay.
Kamalig Albay.
Pati sa Luzon, may kamalig. As far as Ilocos, may kamalig na barangay.
So,
Paano doon napunta?
because of the bearers ng kapatid
yan
na.
yung sinasabi nila, because of the seafaring ability of people coming from Mindanao. In which the seafaring ability, you would date that back to the 1600s. When a sultan, no? When a sultan of Sulu visited the Ming Dynasty in China. Alam mo ba 'yon?
Ngayon ko lang narinig.
There was a sultan in the 1600s that visited and was invited by the emperor of China. Yung emperor of China during the Ming Dynasty, nakalimutan ko lang yung pangalan kasi mahirap bigkasin. No? kaya hindi ako nag-historian eh. Kasi if you are an eligible historian, you have to know the date. Yung date na preserve ko naman. But you have to know the name, yung mga ganyan. Kasi for you to be authentic. Kaya sabi ko, disclaimer na agad ako eh. So this is based on the interview, numerous interviews that I got. So,
yung nag-gather na lang natin na information for the past 9 years.
Calling and advocacy din natin to share. So, there's this sultan. The name of the sultan was Sultan Paduka Pahala.
Paduka Pahala.
So, Sultan Paduka Pahala, during his reign, was invited by the emperor of Ming Dynasty, somewhere around 1600s, to visit him sa China. And just imagine the strong relationship of the two, Sultan and a emperor.
Oh, yeah.
Ngayon, ang sultan sa Mindanao, which sabi, no, during his time, it's composes of the Samba Sulta. Zamboanga, Sulu,
Basilan,
Basilan, Tawi-Tawi. Yun daw yung reign niya. No? Yun daw yung extent of reign. No? Di umano ng sultan during those times. Ngayon, he was invited. He voyaged, no, with no navigation. They just followed the stars. They were able, yung West Philippine Sea. Kaya dapat meron din tayo dyan eh. Meron din tayong say sa West Philippine Sea. Kasi we are the ones who first voyage yung West Philippine Sea na yan. Walang nag-voyage dyan na locals coming from yung mga ngayon, no? I mean, respectfully. Respectfully.
But when you talk to the history,
Oo.
tayo yung nauna.
Oo, if you track down yung history, Mindanao people first voyage those seas. Oh, so from there, he was invited for 2 months. They voyage going to Ming, China, particularly in Guangzhou. Yung Forbidden City, nakapunta ka ba doon? China, Forbidden City.
yeah, oo.
Yung Forbidden City, nandun sila. Doon sila nagstay. They stayed there for 2 months then. And he was given the reception of a king. Kasi yun yung utos ng emperor. He was given the same reception as a king. And so was his entourage. So doon sila nagstay sa... may movie niyan actually. May movie niya na ginawa. It was commissioned by the... Chinese embassy. I think during around 1980s.
Pero the movie is still there.
Oo, meron pa naman. May mga archives yan if you want to, kung gusto mong balikan. Anyway, yun. On his way back, he was ill. Nagkasakit yung sultan. Si Sultan Paduka Pahala. And unfortunately, namatay siya. Nung namatay siya, nalaman ng emperor, ang sinabi ng emperor, mag-identify kayo dyan ng lugar sa Doju, no? Doju, if I'm not mistaken.
Dozu is from sa China.
China pa rin. It's a main part of mainland China. But one of the provinces. Identify kayo dyan ng lugar, ilibing nyo dyan, gawan nyo ng mausoleo, lahat-lahat. And that mausoleo, if we would be able to go to China, still exists up until now.
Mausoleo.
The mausoleo. At hindi lang yon. The family of the Sultan hanggang ngayon nakatira doon. Generations by generations. After 600 years. Kumbaga parang 7 layers of generations ang nakatira doon. And every year, the China Sultanate of Sulu and the Philippine Embassy celebrate that recognition.
Up until now.
Yes. Ang pinakahuli, if I'm not mistaken, 689 year.
689
Imagine, 689 years of Sulu and China relationship.
Up until now, ang relationship ng
Yes, existing pa rin.
Sulu and the China is
Because of that king, it still exists. So when Tausug people or Mindanao people coming from Mindanao visits, yung mga tour guide doon, pamilya ng king, pamilya ng sultan.
Sultan.
Oh.
Pero
so,
si
hanggang ngayon, that area is well maintained.
Clarify ko lang, si Sultan, yung namatay na Sultan
Sultan
is
Paduka Pahala.
Paduka Pahala is doon siya nilibing. So from Sulu, dinala pa siya pabalik.
Hindi. On his way.
Hindi na siya nakabalik.
Hindi na nakabalik ng
okay.
Hindi na nakabalik ng
ng Sulu.
technically Sulu.
Mm.
Oo, technically Sulu. Hindi na siya nakabalik ng Sulu. Kasi on their way back, doon na siya. Nataon sila doon sa Doju na province, kaya doon siya nilibing. Because, alam mo kung bakit?
Bakit?
Because alam ng emperor na hindi pwede na umabot pa ng days na yung patay na Muslim hindi ilibing. So nung narinig ng emperor, immediately ilibing nyo na dyan. Within the 24 hours, pinalibing. And the mausoleo is very big. Nakita ko. Nandito, nakita ko. Isingit mo lang, makikita mo doon. So that relationship still exists. If I'm not mistaken, basta 680 plus up until, and I don't know when it will end because they celebrate it every year. So that's on the side naman of the island provinces. Yun yung, kumbaga, yun yung story nila, how they got the prestige of the island provinces. Siyempre, meron din tayong mga in mainland, the Maranao, Iranon, and the Maguindanao.
Paano naman nagsimula po yun?
Okay, ganito kasi yan eh. Actually, sad to say, for me, like I said, I'm not a historian, but I'm a person who advocates and empathizes and really loves the story when it comes to the history of the people. But dapat din natin malaman and accept what really happened or what are the context when it comes to alam natin the domination when it comes to the organizations, so the Moro or the Moro groups, no, the Moro
Tribes.
groups, the Moro groups are the Maguindanao, Tausug, Iranon, and the Maranao. Kumbaga yun yung four major, no? Pero alam mo ba, and I think may mga magre-react dito. The Iranon and rather the Maguindanao and the Maranao, no? The Maguindanao and the Maranao came from the Iranon. Yun yung paniniwala. Yun yung based on Sarsila. Ito based on Sarsila ito eh. We're basing it on Sarsila kasi I always say, imposible naman kasi yung civilization that would start sa gitna. Alam mo yun? No, kasi kami sa Maranao, sa inyo posible pa. Sa inyo posible pa because people of the river kayo eh.
Oo.
'Di ba? People of the river. Ganito kasi yan. The Iranon are the people of the bay.
Yes.
Kaya nga Iliana Bay yan sa kanila eh.
Actually, may nagsasabi na pirates daw sila nung panahon na yon.
Yan.
Sorry to tell, pero
Yan.
according lang sa mga naririnig
Yan
natin.
din ang ginamit
Pirates.
ng mga Spaniards para manakot. Kasi they were seafarers and they were traders. So when they go to already dominated Spanish areas in Visayas and Luzon, ang sinasabi ng mga Spaniards, mga pirata yan.
Pirata. Yung mga Iran, kapatid natin
Pero
Iran.
they are just there to defend their land. Yan lang naman sila. And they were traders. Pero, same as, because nilagay sila sa moro-moro na they are pirates.
Kasi nasa tubig sila eh.
Yan yung propaganda. Yan yung propaganda. Hindi ba ano? So, yun. The Iranon, no? Or the people of the bay. Sila yung mga Iranon. Diba? Kayo, in the Maguindanao, which I strongly recognize my origin also coming from the Maguindanao, are the Tao sa Ilud.
Tao sa, yeah.
Diba?
Tao sa Ilod.
Ilod, anong yung meaning ng Ilod?
Ilod is from what we call this?
River.
River.
Diba?
Oo.
Anong Tagalog ng river?
Ilog.
Oh.
Mm.
Relevant?
Ilog.
Ilog and Ilod. Diba? Well, there's a relevancy. So you're the people of the river because of the Pulangi River, di ba? Yung mga areas na yan. Kami naman, we are the people of the lake. Kaya Maranao, we are the people of the lake, no? Kaya kami people of the lake. But apparently, hindi naman pwedeng agad-agad kami naging people of the lake. And I think madaming mga magko-contest, hindi pwede. Kasi we are the apong-ampong Maranao. Diba? Yun yung ano namin. We were one of those.
Origin.
Nauna kami. Mga ganyan. Okay, I mean, wala akong problema doon because I would be also, kumbaga I would be also very proud of it.
Proud of, yeah.
But we have to contextualize history sometimes, di ba? Kasi ang problema kasi ganito. When it comes to our tribes in mainland, wala kasi tayong chronology. Hindi natin, to the fact that kung hindi dumating, this is a true fact, ito totoo to. If hindi dumating si Sultan Kudarat sa Lanao del Sur or Lanao area, Lanao had been colonized by the Spaniards already. Yun yung famous speech ni Sultan Kudarat that he traversed the mainland, even including the island provinces. Yung mainland, kaya nga sinasabi, saan ba nilibing si Sultan Kudarat? Sa Parang ba? Sa Sulu ba? Sa Lanao ba? Kasi lahat nag-claim eh. Diba? But that's how vigilant he is. From the island provinces to the peninsula of Zamboanga, going to the mountain ranges of Matanog, traversing the areas of Maguindanao, and going through the rivers connecting Lanao and, which is the Talakag River, Lanao and Maguindanao. So, ganyan ang kingdom ni Sultan Kudarat. That's why he's very powerful. That's why he's very recognized. Now, dun sa pagbalik, sabi nila, if hindi naglabas ng powerful na message ni Sultan Kudarat, convincing the Maranao, then the people of the lake, kasi tinawag niya talaga kayo, you the people of the lake. Sabi niya. Kung hindi kayo lalaban sa mga paparating ng mga Kastila, kayo ay magiging Kristiyano. Tapos biglang sumagot yung isa sa mga farmer. Sabi niya, paano yung mga tanim namin? Paano yung mga kabuhayan namin? Tapos sabi nila, hayaan mo nang masira yan sa isang battle, kesa naman sa mabago kayong lahat sa pagdating ng mga Spaniards. So, yun. So, yun yung nangyari. But again, going back dun sa Iranon. No? For me, well, based on context, yun, Iranon. Sabi nga nila, biro nga, ito, biro lang. Bakit daw ang liit ng population ngayon ng mga Iranon?
Iranon, yeah.
Oh, kasi naubos sila makipag-away. Naubos sila makipag-away. At alam mo ba yung fighting years nila? It started from 10th century. And
So,
sino
wala pa.
kinakalaban nila? The Dutch. Even the Dutch are trying to penetrate the Mindanao area kasi they're coming from the Malacca. Malacca. They're coming from Malacca, which sila yung nagdo-dominate sa Malacca during those times. So yun, from the 10th century, 11th century, 12th century, 13th century, lumalaban ang sila protecting the Iliana Bay and the Moro Gulf area. Yan yung nilalaban nila. Then apparently, yung mga families, no, yung mga artisans, farmers, are those na hindi mga warriors, no, are those living in the mainland, central. Kasi sentro yung the Maguindanao. So yung mga Maguindanao naman. Pero basically, isa lang sila, Maranao and Maguindanao. And then, nung nangyari na yung Great War, and that was between the 300 years Spanish-Moro Wars. 300 years, from 1600 to 1900. Doon na kahiwa-hiwalay. Iranon, for centuries ba naman ang lumalaban sila, gumonti yung numbers. Na-force yung sa Maguindanao, the Maguindanaoans, to fight also. Kasi lumalapit na sila eh. Oh,
Nag-extend na yung...
Nag-expand na yung yung mga Spaniards eh. Nakuha na nila. During those times, nakuha na nila ang 1600s, 1700s, nakuha na nila ang Zamboanga. Nakuha na nila yung part ng Pagadian, yung mga area na yan. Nakuha na nila. And then they're penetrating, closing already to Maguindanao. So, anong nangyari naman, yung mga Maguindanao, no, they were forced to fight even though they are not fighters. Yun yung context dun eh. Kasi, sila nga yung parang, the first cavalry will be the Iranon. And then the community is the Maguindanao. Wala pang Danao. Galit sila, wala pang Danao. Wala pang Danao during those times, no? Sabi ako pa, madami magagalit nito. So, alam ko yung viewership mo, madami.
Again, this is our base on nakalap lang na information for the past 9 years sa pag-broadcast or pag-interview
These
ni Sir.
accounts are from the scholars naman.
Scholar. Yeah.
Pero hindi, well, some of it
Collectings
verified.
of the
Yes, so,
data lang naman.
So, yun. So, the Maguindanao then, during the 17th century, became warriors also. Naging warriors sila because dinefend din nila. And the Iranons are still fighting. The Iliana Bay. Hindi nalaban pa rin
So,
nila.
nahati na yung
So, hindi,
laban.
kumbaga, after those years, hundreds of years, sila makakakay pa. They haven't checked one another.
Each other, yes.
Diba? Which, anyway, the first, naisip ko lang, the first oldest civilization in Mindanao was in Tabuk.
Tabuk is from Lanao?
Yes,
Lanao.
in Malabang.
Okay. Part
That
of
shared
Malabang.
yung Maranao and Ilanon, Iranon area. That's Maranao Iranon area. Yeah, but technically that's
Malabang,
Tabuk. Anyway, doon naman dumating si Sharif Kabunsuan.
Yes.
So doon naman dumating
originally pala dumating, pumasok
he
si
landed
Sharif
there.
sa, okay.
He landed there
But-
carrying, hindi naman different, carrying Islam also. Carrying Islam. But it's 300 years after yung establishment ng first masjid. Kasi 1600 siya dumating. Yung establishment of the first masjid is, ganito yan para malinaw. Sa establishment of the first masjid was in
13,
Simonul
13.
during the 1300s.
1300.
And because of the seafarers, coming from that island provinces, ang naging target nila is Visayas and Luzon. In the 1600, dumating is Sharif Kabungsuan, carrying also the Islamic faith, coming from the areas also, the Borneo. Sharif Kabungsuan, kaya doon dumating yung mga Sharif. Now, kaya nire-recognize, no? 16, yung arrival of Sheriff Cambusuan that touch base in Tabuk area. So, yun. Yun yung area na ano. And then, Islam was, ano, technically, parang doon na nakategorize eh, kung hindi ako nagkakamali eh. So, again, going back to the colonization of the Spaniards. So, during the 1700s, wala lang choice. Lumaban. Yung hindi lumalaban, kasi, wala may nangyari sa kanila. So, they become warriors of their same also. Now, they protected their women and children. They protected their artisans. They protected their farmers. Lahat na. So, sino yun? Yun naman yung umalis ng Maguindanao, traversed the Talacag River, found Lanao area.
So doon na sila na malagi. Doon nila
So,
na.
sino yun?
Sino 'yun?
Yun yung mga Maranao.
So parang ang sinasabi natin dito, yung Maguindanao and Maranao originally
Iranon. Ano, kaya mo ba yung tanggalin? Madami nag-ano dyan, ha?
Again, this is based on history and
Accounts of some historians. Ganun na lang. Kasi yung iba, hindi nila na-verify. But, ang kagandahan kasi nito, some historians and advocates of history, which are not academics, pero binasa nila yung Sarsila, sa inyo, di ba? Tarsila. Coming from the Iranon families, coming from the Maguindanao families. So, yun ang nakita nila. There was a migration. Migration from the Iranon going to the mainland, to the Maguindanao, kasi sinave nila, kasi ayaw nila makipaggera. And then, another migration, technically, from the Maranao, going to the Lanao area. And that happened somewhere around 17th century na.
pero in that time, pumasok na ba si Shariff Kabunsuan or wala pa?
Yes, pumasok na. 1600s. 1600s.
Pero how come? Kasi sa amin sa Cotabato City, may tinatawag kaming Shariff Kabunsuan, the arrival of Shariff Kabunsuan. So dumaan siya sa Rio Grande de Mindanao according sa history doon sa amin. So how come na doon pala siya unang lumapag sa Tabuk sa may Malabang? Malabang. So bakit sinicelebrate ng Cotabato City ang Shariff Kabunsuan Festival every year, which is according sa mga
Because he was the first recognized hero
in
both areas. Kasi
Okay.
Cotabato is one empire that adjusts whole the mainland of Mindanao.
actually hanggang Jensen
Yes. Oh. Jensen is also a
part of Cotabato. Dati.
General Santos.
And then Danjangas dati.
Danjangas.
From
Danjangas. Alam mo ba, mga Muslim yan dati?
Yes. Oo.
Pinatay ni
General Santos. Kaya siya natawag na General Santos.
Pinapatay niya.
Hindi rin matanggap yun ng mga taga Jensen na dating pangalan ng Jensen is Danjangas.
How would you give the
Muslim.
fame to a person who killed Muslims? Ba, yun yung sinasabi. Kasi yun nga, pinagpapatay niya yung mga ano naman. But anyways, yun. Yung pagkakaintindi mo ngayon, yun. Technically, if you would find naman kasi the Pulangi River, it's all connected. So,
The Rio Grande.
Oh.
Rio Grande de Mindanao.
Maybe Kasi may malaking river sa Tabuk connecting the Pulangi.
Going to Maguindanao and
Going to
Cotabato
Maguindanao
City.
area. So, kaya dun sineselebrate on that Pulangi River.
And the exit of that is going to Zamboanga na.
Yes.
Yung river na. So, sea na siya. Papunta ka na sa dagat.
So, hindi naman pwedeng dun siya nanggaling sa Pacific Ocean. 'Di ba? Technically, magagaling siya sa Iliana Bay because he's coming from the Malacca area. So, doon siya pumasok. Doon yung entry point niya. Kaya nga, he is famous of going against the river. Kasi inakyat niya technically. Kasi yung river talagang inakyat niya. Kasi yung downstream kasi yung yung river coming from the highlands of mainland area of Mindanao. Inakyat niya. So, going back, nung nag-move na yung mga women and children, artisans, farmers, lahat ng non-combatant, kumbaga, tumira sila. Nahanap nila ang Lanao. Kaya nga, hindi ka ba magtataka? Bakit may Lanao del Sur na part ng WAO?
Oo, kasi ang WAO, Bukid
Malayo na, di ba?
Malayo. Oo.
Now, bakit tatawagin yung isang municipality na ngayon ay Sultan...
Naga di Maporo.
Hindi, iba. Sultan... Bambaran yun dati. Oh, but it was named now with one of the sultans, no? Kalimutan ko, talagang tumatanda na tayo. Pero the name of that munisipyo dati is Bumbaran. Bumbaran. No?
Flash na lang natin.
Oh, basta name of the city is Bumbaran. Nakalimutan ko basta its name now is Sultan.
Bumbaran.
Bakit alam mo kung anong meaning ng Bumbaran in Maguindanao?
Bumbaran, ang alam ko lang sa Bumbaran, historical na dyan na parang dyan yung mga...
The term itself, Bumbaran.
I don't
Meaning
know.
Bumbar.
Bumbar?
Bumbar.
Ko lang narinig.
So meaning,
it's a term of Maranao term.
Maranao term siya na parang they had, paano ba sasabihin to? Mini bomber, parang naanod.
Okay.
Bumbar.
Nalunod. Parang
naanod sila.
Naanod sila sa... Okay.
Because there were countless of vessels traversing the river. So doon sila na mini bomber sila sa Bambaran. Mini bomber, Bambaran.
Okay. Gets ko.
Ngayon, Bambaran kasi, when you're coming from that area, nakita mo naman yung sleeping lady. Di ba? So, likod niyan, bukid noon. Area. So, pag umakyat ka dyan, pag tinraverse mo yan, the first sight that you would see is Lake Lanao. So, doon sila nag-settle. Because during those times, eto, magagalit na naman sila, it was not according to records sa sila, nung dumating yung mga those who migrated coming from the mainland Maguindanao, no? And dumating sila and nahanap nila yung area ng Lanao. Dumating sila, inhabited na yung Lanao. Inhabited by the indigenous people which are the Subanon.
Before the coming of the Maranao. There.
Yes, before the coming
Subanon.
of the Maranao. Magagalit na naman sila. Hindi. But technically, ngayon, kasi every time na ginagano nila, I would make up a proof na hindi talaga nanggaling sila doon. Alam mo kung paano magbilang ang Subanon?
Paano?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Pareho lang sa Maguindanao.
Pareho lang sa Maguindanao.
And Iranon.
And the Iranon, di ba?
Oh.
So, yun yung bilang nila. So, which defines na we are one great nation with having one identity before. Kaya bagay na bagay ngayon yung one more or one identity. But anyway, yun. Now, nung nagsettle sila doon, from the late 1600s up until the 1800s, 1900s. So it's more than 200 years of isolation in Lanao. Hindi na nila nakita yung mga relative nila from Maguindanao. Hindi na nila nakita yung mga relative nila from Iranon. And then the culture that they are carrying, evolved on the 200 plus years of living in Lanao. Hindi ka ba magtataka bakit yung ukir nyo pareho ng ukir sa amin? Di ba? The design and everything of which. Because yung mga umalis, because of that war, are the farmers, artisans, and
From
carpenters
Maguindanao.
coming from Maguindanao area. From the mainland. Okay? Lagay na lang natin na from the mainland. From the mainland.
Central.
And then they carried that, culture, tradition, and arts. So yun ang, and then because it's very peaceful, it's very peaceful, doon na nag-evolve. Nagkaroon na kami ng, nag-evolve yung language. Yung Maranao language, nag-evolve. Nag-evolve yung Maranao culture, nag-evolve yung Maranao tradition, and we acquired it, we treated it as our own. Yun na nangyari. So,
parang yun na yung naging identity.
yes,
talaga nung-
exactly. Naging
Pero,
identity na
oo.
namin.
Paano na recognize or ano tawag dito? Bakit siya natawag na Maranao?
Maganda yan.
Maranao. Bakit siya natawag na Maranao? Kasi from Iranon, originally...
Kumbaga, Maguindanao, okay na eh, no?
Iranon, pero Maguindanao. Then, paano naman siya napunta sa Maranao? Kasi parang ang Iranon and Maranao, parang yun ang parang magkatunog eh. Pero, paano siya natawag na Maranao?
For example, ako lang. In our local, ewan ko lang sa Maguindanao, but in our local, pag ako pumunta ng, let's say, Iligan, ang sinasabi is, Miyagiligan. Paano sa inyo? Halimbawa, pumunta ng Cotabato. May giligan, parang ganon. Yung term na ganon.
Bladas? Ganun? Parang bladas.
In Maguindanao, paano yung pumunta ng iligan? How would you translate that in Maguindanao?
Below sa iligan.
No.
Below
Yan.
sa iligan.
In Maranao, pumunta ng Ranao.
Ranao is the lake.
Lake.
The lake
Miranao.
Lanao.
Miranao.
So pumunta ng lake.
Saan siya galing?
Maranao.
Galing siyang Maguindanao.
Maguindanao. Wait lang.
Gets mo na?
Ganit. So, ibig sabihin...
Always na tanong, bakit? They are the people of the lake.
Bakit
Pumunta ng Ranao. Okay, ang tanong ko, saan siya galing?
So,
Ranao.
Ibig sabihin, natawag siyang Maranao kasi
Pumunta siya
ng Lanao,
Ranao.
which is the lake.
Lake.
Maranao.
Oh.
Kasi hindi naman siya Maranao. Maranao, di ba? Maranao.
Oh. So, saan siya galing? Definitely,
Mainland.
he's coming from the mainland, Maguindanao. Ngayon, nung tinatanong halimbawa, nung tinanong ng mga relatives.
Ito according
they can contest it as they want. Pero,
this is based
maglatag din kayo, kumbaga. Kasi, for me, bakit ako tatawagin na sumyong sa Ranao o Miranao kung wala naman
taga doon ka rin.
Kung taga doon ako, di ba? Nakakatawa. So, definitely, there's an origin where I'm coming from. Miranao.
Nagpunta sa Ranao.
Nagpunta sa Ranao. So, saan siya galing? Di ba? Saan siya galing? Kung pumunta siya ng Ranao. Ngayon, there was this din naman na isa na Iranon. Okay. Kasi tayo mga Iranaon tayo. Meaning, galing sa Ranao. Iranaon.
No, ganun din yung iba.
May isa din. May isa din.
Na histo.
May ganun din na konteksto sila. Iranaon. That's the Iranaon. Nanggaling sa Ranao. Yun yung amin. Nanggaling sa Ranao. Diba? So, okay, sige, sa inyo na yan. No problem.
meron namang aside from that, according naman sa mga
Kasi kayo mga Maguindanao, nag-steady lang kayo dun eh.
Pero according naman sa iba, sa mga sa mga matatanda, Maranao galing sa mga Maranao, then yung ibang parang ganun din na parang nag-separate sila. So pumunta daw sila sa mga lugar na malabang, ganyan, sa Matanog. Kaya ang tawag na daw sila sa sarili niya is Iranon. Nag-Iranon na daw yung hindi ko
Nyagiranaon.
parang ganun, parang
Nyagiranaon.
ganun. Tapos yung mga Iranon naman daw, 'di ba nasa bay sila. So ang bay kasi merong daanan papuntang Cotabato City na. So yung Iranon parang ang dating term daw is Magiranon. Hindi ko lang sure, pero hindi ko lang masyadong ma-figure out.
Kaya nga nasabi ko,
Hindi ko lang masyadong ma-figure out.
hindi kasi natin alam, no? When you talk about this cultural organizations or cultural groups.
Ang dami mong tatapakan.
Oo. But, we're not talking about the chronology. Anong year ba yan? Ang sinasabi na natin is, we are here already since the time of Pero, okay, sige. Pero, paano? Di ba? Paano? Yeah, the very example, Miranao ka, saan ka galing? Diba? Yun lang, yun yung tanong. So, ewan ko paano. So, ang maganda naman doon sa story na yun is that we preserve the tradition and culture of the Maguindanao and the Iranon because we came from that. So, parang ngayon, kumbaga, yung definition mo of the Iranon, Maguindanao, Marinanao, medyo nalinaw na ba? Medyo luminaw kung saan galing at saka lahat-lahat. Diba? So,
it makes sense kasi yung mga ukir, yung mga waving natin para halos magkakapareho din.
Yun talaga. Eventually nag-evolve lang. Now, going back to the rally, nung nag-rally ni-rally ni Sultan Kudarat na huwag kayong magpa-api sa mga paparating na Spaniards, which is eventually during the late 1800s, dumating na yung mga Spaniards sa Lanao. They have already penetrated Lanao. Because they penetrated already Cagayan de Oro and they penetrated already
Pagalian, Zamboanga.
Yung mga areas na yan. Na-penetrate na nila, napasok na nila. Yung mga areas na yan. Napasok na nila. As far as Iligan. Napasok na nila yan. Now, there were emissaries of ano ba yun? Emissaries of the Spaniards, no? That was sent to Lanao to negotiate with the sultans. Na ganito, papasok kami, ganito, ganyan. So sabi naman ng mga Maranao, di tayo napasok ng mga magagalit na naman sila dito. Hindi tayo napasok ng mga Spaniards. Walang So sabi ko naman, bakit may mga munisipyo tayo na yung name galing sa Spanish? Same as doon sa Maguindanao also. Bakit may area na tawag natin Grande, Bacolod Grande, Bacolod Chico, which are Spanish in origin. Grande meaning big, Chico meaning small. Big area and small area. So, yun lang
okay.
ini-explain ko sa kanila. If hindi dumating yung mga Spaniards.
In 1700s.
Pero, kaya nga dumating si Sultan Kudarat eh. Kasi wag kayong magpaano. So, if not, magpasakop. If not, with that great speech na convinced si Sultan Kudarat, the Maranaos of the lake would have been Christianized. So, yun ang brief. Madami pa yan. Kumbaga, madami pa yung story.
Ang lawak kung pag-uusapan natin sa isang episode.
Hindi pwedeng sa isang episode. Marami yan.
Abutin tayo ng ilang oras para pag-usapan.
Araw yan. I mean, yung discussion dyan, araw. So, eventually, yun yung... Well, that's only the beginning. Yun pa lang yung pinagmula. Now, if you want to put in context and chronological events, and want to accept it, ganun talaga yung pagkakano. But yet again, these accounts are coming from historians, historical advocates, that
and Tarsilan.
that are well versed of the Sarsila of the three or of the Muslim dominated areas.
Grabe. Ang buong akala ko talaga originally ng Iranon and Maguindanao is from Maranao.
Baliktad.
Oo, baliktad. Maranao kasi galing Lanao, pumunta ng
Like I said,
Malabang and then
great civilization started from the Bay areas. Most great civilization starts from Bay areas. Ngayon, kung sasabihin mo na the Lanao civilization started from the lake, which is in the center, kaya nga lake, no? Imposible. I mean, for me, posible naman because hindi naman yun una eh. Well, we have the Aztecs. The Aztecs, their civilization sa mga tataas na bundok. They come from within. Pero kung titingnan mo, nanggaling din yung mga ninuno nila from the Bay areas of Aztec areas, Greek of Aztecs. So, meron talagang origin. So, I think we have to, pwede naman write your comment kung meron kayong...
Comment na lang yun, guys. Kasi hindi siya kayang pag-usapan sa isang episode lang talaga.
Maganda.
Sobrang wide pala.
Pero alam mo, ang maganda dito is that we steer the conversation, no? Hindi naman natin mapipilit kung ano yung nalaman nila. Kasi nung narinig ko din yan, para galing sa mga scholars, hindi ko din naman sila kinontest. Now, which is for me, kumbinsido din naman ako. Given the chronological events. Ayan.
Stating the facts, no? Grabe, mashallah. Grabing conversation 'yun. Di ko wala talaga sa utak ko talaga na ganun yung pagkakasunod-sunod, no. Grabe.
'Di ba yung yung sa Maguindanao, may river, Rio Grande.
Rio Grande de Mindanao.
Rio Grande de Mindanao, no? That's one of the largest river in
Kasi
Mindanao.
doon dumaan si Sharif Kabunsuan.
Pero, if I'm not mistaken, that river was named when the Spaniards already colonized some areas of Mindanao, particularly in the areas also Maguindanao, which is the Cotabato Empire.
Because
the Cotabato Empire. Kasi Rio Grande, meaning river, big river.
Big river, yeah. Makes sense.
It's not, the origin is not coming from us.
Grabe. Grabe, marami pa tayong pag-uusapan, guys. Pero from the meantime, siguro,
sundan na lang natin
sundan
to.
na lang natin to, inshallah. Magandang kausap si sir. Talagang malalaman mo yung historical backgrounds natin kung saan tayo nagsimula and ano yung chronological history ng pinanggalingan nating mga Muslim dito sa Pilipinas. And bago tayo magtapos, gusto lang natin pasalamatan ang For Development, ang Jumeirahville Subdivision, for accommodating us dito sa venue natin ngayon, dito sa May Bacoor, Cavite. Jumeirahville Subdivision is the first Sharia compliant, halal Sharia compliant na subdivision sa buong Pilipinas, which is nagpo-promote ng walang interest o walang riba kapag ikaw ay na-delay ng bayad. So, it is the first Sharia compliant subdivision here in the Philippines. Gusto lang namin ding pasalamatan ng Salam Radio. Kung gusto niyo pong mapanood o gusto niyo mas maintindihan pa yung pinag-uusapan namin ni Sir Nords Maguindanao, pumunta po kayo sa kanilang may website po kayo, sir? Pwede po natin.
Salam Radio Facebook page.
Promote po natin.
We are airing Salam Radio Facebook page. We are airing over the radio dito sa Metro Manila and Mega Manila every day 7 to 8 p.m. at 7:38 a.m. yung radio. Radio frequency 7:38 a.m. So again, thank you very much. Ito pang reels mo to. Alam mo ba na one of the first communities that was established here in the Philippines are Muslim communities.
Here.
Oh, syempre, Muslim communities, one of the first. Di ba? Nauna, before the arrival of the Spaniards, there are already Muslim communities. There are so many Muslim communities. Kaya nga nakapakaganda because ito, yung Jumeirah is now reviving that part of history where the Muslims had already established these communities all throughout the Philippines, way before a formal establishment of communities in the Philippines.
Okay. Another kaalaman naman yun na the first community na buo dito sa bansang Pilipinas.
One of the first.
One of the first dito sa Pilipinas ay ang Muslim community. So, makes sense. And that's it for today. And sana nag-enjoy kayo sa conversation na to and sa mga natapakan yung kanilang paniniwala or
comment down below.
Let's say yung paniniwala
we are
yung
open
sila.
naman.
Yeah. Comment nyo lang dyan. Kaya naman tayo nag-podcast nito para mag-sharing of ideas. Hindi tayo nag-podcast ng ganito or na nakipagkwentuhan dito para magbatuhan ng mga kung ano-anong. Nandito tayo para i-share ang ideas natin and mag-gather ng data and information sa ating mga kababayan.
Ayan. Okay.
Yan. So, maraming salamat, sir. Nords Maguindanao, it's a pleasure. So po, sana, inshallah, marami pang susunod sa mga ganito. Inshallah. Yun lang po. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Ito ang kwento't kaalamang Bangsamoro, kasaysayan, kaganapan at iba't ibang kwento sa loob at labas ng Pilipinas patungkol sa mga Muslim.